Hello, this is Popping Tae in Tae Dance Studio, Korea. Today I would like to talk about a Michael Jackson documentary, Leaving Neverland. I'm very interested in this issue because I'm a big fan of Michael Jackson, and I should say I started my dance because of him. I haven't watched the documentary since HBO is not available from where I am. But I think I know enough from the YouTube clips that I have watched. While watching the clips, I thought that something was going on wrong with the situation. So I decided to talk about the issue. I would like to talk about 3 points regarding the issue, and the first one is the documentary being one-sided. The defenders of Michael Jackson say that the documentary is one-sided because it only has what the accusers say about the incident and not what the defenders are saying. But the director of the documentary says that the documentary is not one-sided and well-balanced. He says the only ones that know what actually happened in the room are the accusers and Michael Jackson. And since Michael Jackson is not alive, the accusers are the only ones who know what actually happened. And he says that's why he doesn't need to interview any defenders because they don't know what happened in the room. That makes sense. And he says the documentary is balanced because he added the clips of Michael Jackson defending himself when he was alive. But I think this part does not make sense. If you're gonna only have Michael Jackson defending himself when he was alive, which was like 15 years ago, you should only have the clips of the accusers talking about the event back then for the documentary to be fair. If you're going to add what the accusers are saying about the event now, then you should at least add what the defenders are saying, or the people around Michael Jackson were at that time are saying. There could be people like the other children who were around him, or the people who worked for Michael Jackson at that time, or Michael Jackson's friends, the people close to him. They could have sensed anything if there was anything inappropriate going on between Michael Jackson and the accusers or other children. The only ground that the director has for believing what the accusers are saying is true is that their story is consistent. But if he had a chance to talk to Michael Jackson, if he's alive, and hear his story, maybe he might think his story is consistent too. Who knows? Because the accusers are the only ones who know what actually happened in the room, it's that much easier for them to make up a story, make up a lie. So we should be very cautious when we get information like this. But the director of the documentary is very firm in his attitude when he's appearing in talk shows, and he says that what the accusers are saying happened, and Michael Jackson actually did it. But he also was not in the room, so he can't be that sure for that. And I saw a YouTube clip. I think it was an Australian talk show. There was a lady host interviewing Taj, who's Michael Jackson's nephew. Taj said the accusers are lying because they have stated differently when Michael Jackson was alive in court under oath. But the host says that that can be explained by what the accusers said, which is Michael Jackson brainwashed them and groomed them and said that if they told anyone about this, they would all be in jail for the rest of their lives. But now that they are more mature, they have decided to speak out about this event. That makes sense. But that is the logic they are using. Okay? So you can't say that the fact that the accusers said differently in the past cannot be the evidence for them lying. Okay? It's not proven. And the second point I want to talk about is that while watching the clips, I saw in some talk shows, some people talk about this kind of victims of sexual abuse speaking out should be encouraged. While that is true, you can't say that when you're talking about Michael Jackson documentary, because if you say that when you're talking about Michael Jackson documentary, you're saying that Michael Jackson actually did what the accusers said he had done, but you're not sure, right? So if you say that, you're admitting that Michael Jackson actually did it, and if you say that, you might be causing harm to his reputation or his asset too, because although Michael Jackson is dead, there's this Michael Jackson estate, and you shouldn't intrude on someone's asset by telling a false story. So today there's this Me Too environment. This environment is making it easier for the victims of sexual abuse to speak out. While this is a good thing, it also makes it easier for the false victims to talk about their lies. So we should be very cautious and prudent when we access this kind of information. Okay. And the third thing I want to talk about is some people talk about whether they have to ban Michael Jackson's music from being played, from being broadcasted. I think it is very much early to talk about this because nothing has been proven. So banning his music would be like intruding on someone's asset with false information, and that is a very bad thing to do. And one other thing I would like to talk about is an artist's work of art should be thought or dealt differently from the artist himself. I think as soon as an artist creates a work of art, that work of art is separated from the artist himself. So as long as there's nothing wrong with the work of art itself, like as if in music the lyrics is inappropriate or something, the work of art should not be affected by the personality or the behavior of the artist. We know a lot of artists from the past that we admire, but who knows about their personality? The people who know about their personality are all gone now, right? All that it's left is the work of art. So I think a work of art is important by itself and not by the personality of the artist. So I think even if Michael Jackson's found guilty for any of his charges, I don't think banning the music is a good idea. I think we need to admit that artists are the most extraordinary people. They have extraordinary way of thinking, extraordinary way of life, and we wouldn't expect much creativity from a person who leads a normal life, like working in an office from 9 to 5. So I think we need to respect the extraordinary way of life of the artists, as long as it doesn't harm the society. That is all that I got to say. Thank you.